All right, so listen, I've been getting a lot of questions on my Instagram, my YouTube, my Snapchat, and they're all around the same recurring question, which is my foundation routine. So I decided to go ahead and just kill all that noise and give y'all what y'all been so longly asking for, the keys to my flawless makeup application. Let's get it. The first step I take to prime my face is that I use my Curology, the moisturizer, to kind of combat my dryness at the moment because I'm going through like a stupid dry spell. Then for my oily areas, I use my Becca Ever Matte Poreless Primer Perfector. Just a little bit does go a long way, and I put that into my areas where I'm really oily at, which is my forehead, my nose, right around my nose, above my lip, and my chin. This primer is literally the GOAT. Like, I cannot vouch for any other primer but this one that actually works for us oily skin girls. So if you are oily, this is definitely for you. Then, of course, y'all know I have dark spots. I suffer a lot with discoloration and hyperpigmentation. So this is the e.l.f. color correcting crayon in the shade orange. I put this on my spots that are, kind of hard to cover up with makeup. I don't like to put on too much foundation, so this kind of helps to mask that so I don't have to put on too much of a layer. And then I spray my little buffer brush that I got from AliExpress. I don't know if I have the link anymore. I think that link is broken, but they may have a similar brush to this online. I'll try to find it. And I just buff it into my skin after I spray it with some water, so that way it's nice and melted. For my foundation, I always use my L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation in the shade C6, which I think is Soft Sable. Like I told you guys earlier, I am going through a very dry spell, so this is just very good for me right now because it's extremely hydrating. I take my little flat foundation brush that I got from Dollar Tree. This is the Wet n Wild flat foundation brush, and I spread out the foundation evenly around my face as if I'm painting. And then I use my beauty blender just to make everything blend together. I found this technique makes it sure that I get every single part of my face and that I don't put too much foundation on, so it won't look as cakey. This just makes it look a little bit more flawless and a little bit more natural. Y'all should already know I'm still rocking with this bad baby right here. For my concealer, I have been sticking with the Milani 2-in-1 Concealer and Perfect Concealer. This is in the shade, I think, Warm Sand or Warm Tan, I believe. This concealer is just bomb, like hands down. I have not felt this way about concealer in a long time. Since I think like the LA Girl Pro Concealer, this just takes the cake. It's so full coverage. It's hydrating. Well, in my opinion, it is. It's hydrating and it just gets the job done. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna forever be a fan. So I blend all of that in with that same beauty sponge that I use for my foundation. But I do use my fingers to blend out my nose. If I use a brush or a beauty blender, it just makes that line a little bit more fat. Makes my nose look a little bit more wider. So yeah. And then of course I'm going to set my face with my Black Radiance Loose Setting Powder in the shade Banana. Recently I have not really been baking. I more so just put it on my concealed areas and just press it in. So that way my skin does not get back dry, because my skin is really dry right now. Like I said 2 times before, godly Courtney, quit being repetitive. Then to kind of bronze my face, I'm going to take my Iman pressed powder in the shade Earth Deep or Earth Dark. I'm going to take my Wet n Wild brush that I got from Dollar Tree. This is a blush brush. I'm going to just put it on the perimeter of my face to add some of the warmth back. Then for my contour shade, I'm going to take my Amuse Cosmetics Matte Bronzer in the shade number 6. This is a really deep reddish brown bronzer. If y'all been rocking with me for a while, y'all already know the love I have for a reddish brown bronzer. Like, it just gives me all types of life. Like, you cannot tell me that I do not look good with this red on my face. Like, you're not going to sit there and tell me that. You're not. Contour looking all rosy and whatnot. After wiping the bake off of my nose, I'm going to take my my LA Colors contour stick in the shade Deep. And I'm going to I'm going to line the sides of my nose. I'm going to blend it out with my little small knockoff oval brush I got from AliExpress. And then I'm going to dip the same brush into my Black Radiance contour palette into the contour shade, just to set that cream contour so it'll look a little bit more prominent. Then I do go in with a cleaner buffer brush just to make sure everything's all blended in and buffed into my skin. After that, I do jump into my blush, and the blush that I'm always using nowadays is the NYX High Definition Blush. Put the exact name of it, you know, down below in the description box. I feel like an orange blush just complements brown skin so well. Like, I've really been loving this lately, and I have not put this down yet. Orange and red blushers are just always going to be bae. Then I take my Golden Cashew Black Radiance Pressed Powder just to kind of clean up under my contour. I take it on my beauty sponge and just line it underneath as if I'm cutting it with some setting powder and just bending it down towards my neck. And if sometimes I cut it a little bit too sharp, I just take my stippling small buffer brush and I just bend in my contour to make it a little bit more diffused. And then for my highlighter, I'm going to use my Ruby Kisses All Over Glow highlighter in the shade Bronze Glow. Listen, for $3-4, this highlighter is bomb. I got it from the beauty supply store when I was in the city, and I have not stopped using this since. This has the potential to be really like banging and popping, but I use it more so lightly so that I can have like a nice glow from within glow. But don't let it fool you. It can get popping. Like, don't let it fool you. Then I'm going to take my Loreal Gilded Honey highlighter, and I use this highlighter just for my nose. A good dupe for this is the Master Chrome highlighter by Maybelline. They're the exact same thing, but today I just felt like being a little extra, and it's a little bit more blinding than the Maybelline Master Chrome. They're the same shade and do the same job, but I'm just used to using the Loreal. Then, of course, I put back my moles. You already know how I do. Without my moles, I feel completely naked. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for my foundation routine. I literally do this foundation routine every time I put on makeup, period. This is a look I filmed after I did do my makeup. If you are interested, I would definitely leave this eye makeup look in the description box down below and somewhere above in the cards. Don't forget, my lovelies, to give you girl a big thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to the Beehive down below if you guys have not already. And as always, I love every single one of you. But until next time, your crown may tilt, but you never let it fall. Stay gilded.